Buzz.
All right. Welcome to May, the very first Tuesday in May of 2024. Like that's crazy all in itself. But I love a new month. I love starting over, starting fresh, and really just giving yourself permission to let go of the past. Like that's what I want you guys to do today. That's what I invite you to do is you're here to create a real estate abundance plan. You signed up, you showed up, and now you're ready to do it. And the first thing that you have to do is let go of the past. Like let go of all the things that you've wanted to do before now and said that you were going to do but didn't, wanted to do. And I want you to just kind of go through this next 4 weeks with us and really try to get your plan set up. We're going to give you homework ideas every week. We're going to give you great things to go implement. And there's a lot. And so the beauty is that we start over every single month. So you could come back next month again and implement the new things, the things you didn't get done this month. And then the following month, same thing. Every Tuesday, the first 4 Tuesdays, we are here for you doing this live coaching call and sharing our expertise that we've built over, for me, 23 years, for Angela, something like 30 years of real estate. And we just really want to help other agents. We're at this point in our careers. I still have a team. I'm still running. Angela is the Georgia State broker for Epic Realty. But we really feel like a higher calling, a higher purpose to help other agents not have to go through all of the stuff that we did. And now it's like we have overload of information too. So with that being said, at the same time, I want to help you create your very own plan. So I'm going to share my screen and just get started. I have so many things to share with you today. But we're going to start here with these slides. So I myself have been overwhelmed with real estate the entire time. Even though I've been successful, I've always done anywhere between 40 to 60 deals a year. I've built a team. I've done all that. I still had to create systems for myself along the way. I'm ADHD. I'm very driven to be successful. I come from a childhood of chaos, which has overflowed into my adult life. And so I've had to really figure out a system to make my real estate business be successful. Once I realized that I could do that, I created a system for everything. So my Freedom to Flourish system, it's really, let's think of it as a system, is about helping you get clarity and work through some of the things that we have going on and really figure out what your system will be. So it's just me sharing what works for me, hoping it'll work for you. And I have a lot of feedback from people who use it regularly, and it does work for them as well. So who am I though? Since this is week 1, I'm gonna go into this a little bit. I've been an agent for now 22 years. I average anywhere from 40 to 60 transactions a year. I've had really good years. I've had really bad years. I've moved. I've been licensed in 2 states, but real estate was my thing. When I got my license in 2002, I knew like, this is it. I'm ready to do this. Like I got control of my future. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. And then all of those pre-designed sets of beliefs and all of the stuff that goes on with your brain, like they just all still were there. I didn't ever get those changed. And so a lot of the struggles that we go through as entrepreneurs and agents are all of the baggage that we bring from our childhood, from our early days, like all of that. And so I actually co-authored this book a couple years ago called Step Into Your Brave. And I really had to dig deep and really figure out like what I needed to change. And so, my whole Freedom to Flourish system has been evolving ever since then. I'm a mom of 4 sons. I have 7 grandsons, and I am a survivor of childhood trauma. My parents were married at like 18 and 19 and were divorced by the time I was 1. My dad was an alcoholic. He died when I was 9 months pregnant and 19 with my oldest son. That's just a little bitty piece. You have to go buy the book if you want to know more about that. But anyway, why I tell you all of that, because you guys, if I can do this, anyone can. And I want to show you how. Like, I want to literally give you the tools that you need to be successful so that you can avoid a lot of the struggles that I had in creating my real estate business. So what does that look like? That looks like these 4 pillars. So every week we dig in deep to a different pillar. The first week, that's today, is mindset. We're going to talk a lot about mindset, and I'm going to give you guys a plan, a digital plan that you could download and go work on some of this stuff yourself and document it, because if you have the plan, it's going to be a lot more likely that you're going to get there. It's like, okay, here's the plan. Now let's put it in the GPS and let's program our brains to go do the work that needs to be done so that you could get there to that final destination. But that all starts with the mindset. And whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are correct. Week 2, we're going to dig into foundations, like what foundational pieces of your real estate business need to be set up so you could go out there and do the rest. And then we're going to dig into automations in week 3. And then week 4, one of my favorite ones, my favorite is today, and then funnels. Foundations and automations, not my thing. A lot of details in those. I'm more of a bottom line kind of person, but I know they have to be done. So if you're saying, I don't want to do all this work, like, you're not alone. None of us want to do all this work, but it has to be done in order to get to that destination. And, funnels, that's a great week. All of these recordings are on my YouTube channel, so you could go look at them at any time, but it will be much funner if you just do it with us and then go do the homework over the next week and stick with us. So what you focus on determines how you feel, and how you feel, your state of mind, like, powerfully influences our actions and interactions. If you wake up every day and you just remember this and you start your day out right, but that, I say that, but that's not natural for all of us. Some of us wake up in a panic and, like, oh my God, like, what have I got to do to survive today? That's called survival mode. Like, that's literally a thing. And it's the worst place to be. And I've lived my entire life in it until the past 5 to 10 years. Like, I literally figured it all out. Now I still go there, but I know exactly how to get out of it a lot quicker. And those are these are the changes that you're going to have to make in order to figure that out for yourself. But what are you focusing on all day? What is your state of mind? Is it negative? Is it scarcity? Is it lack? Is it all of these things? Because you won't make it in this business if that's the case. You have to focus on the positive and all of the good things and all of the possibilities and your plan. Just figure out that destination and how you're going to get there. So week 1, mindset and your daily routine. We have to dig into the mindset, you guys, because as Angela taught me, you got to know why, what you're supposed to be doing, but why you're not doing it. Like, I would say raise your hand, but I know everybody's going to raise their hand. Like, we all know we're supposed to be doing something different, but we're just not doing it, because why? And these are the things that you have to notice. So we're all in a different place here, but most likely we all have some kind of past trauma in our past. Angela's going to talk a little bit more about that here in a minute, but what does that look like? Like, what is that trauma? Where are you in the healing journey is the better question. Don't stay stuck in that same story. My dad was an alcoholic, and I could live in that story for the rest of my life and be like, make excuses for myself as to why I'm there. But I don't want to. I want to be forward facing. I want to be future focused on what I want and the goals and the good things in life that I want. Yes, that all happened. And I have a lot more traumatizing things that happened other than that. but I'm not going to live there, because then I wake up and I'm focused on all that negativity. And we're all going to have it, though. There's going to be days where life is just going to happen, and it's going to be okay. You got to just give yourself the grace too, to really just allow yourself to be there for a little bit, but then know that you don't want to stay there. Know that you want to pick yourself up. You have to be the fly on the wall in your own mind to figure out what your mind is doing. None of us want to like acknowledge that we are where we are, but we are where we are. But what are you doing? How are you interacting all day? Think of yourself all day like that fly on the wall and in your mind, and take notes, journal. What are you doing? What are the loops that you're going through every day that is preventing you from doing the things that you know that you need to be doing? And just, journal those, and then do the work to heal them. At Epic, we have 12 free healthcare mental sessions per year. I'm told per subject too. Like if you're going through a divorce, it's 12 per divorce. I don't know if I trust that or not, and I need to ask, but I haven't. But at a minimum, you get 12. So maybe you need to figure out, like, what do I need to do to heal some of these traumas so that I could get into execution mode with my business. And, as in real estate and entrepreneurship, really, they do intertwine. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, I'm constantly telling my husband, I got to be on a call, or I got to do this. Like, you got to find a place where they intertwine, and that's okay. That's allowed. Um, and another note, like, we can't live in the past and the future at the same time. So figure out where you want to be, and be a results driven person. Be a person who wants to go figure out how to make the changes that need to be made so that you could be that person that you want to be. Heal the past and move on to the beautiful life that's waiting for you. Angela, do you have anything that you want to add to all of that? I know you usually talk a lot about this area because this is really your area.
Yeah, I'd say that, we really have to look at what our childhood experiences have given us, right? And I think that when we talk about our past trauma, we don't realize what actually comes from that, right? I'm a big proponent of not living life as a victim, but saying, yeah, like stuff happened. I get it. Um, this is what it's given me, right? I'm going to be interviewed on Agent Hub 360 on Friday. And I just spent the last hour on a call with Ben Eilers talking to him about my childhood, right? And kind of where that's taken me. And I'll tell you that it's you can look at your childhood experiences and say it took this from me, right? So I can look at mine and say it took my sense of safety. It took my sense of structure. It took my sense of feeling like I mattered or that I was important, right? And I never felt any of those things. I don't know what it felt like as a child to feel safe um or like cared for or any of those things, right? But I can also look and say, you know what? I was extremely independent. I took care of myself. I took care of my little brother. I then created a business for myself very early on. You guys, I started out in real estate when I was 19, and this is before the internet, so it's seeing how I have built my life where I question everything. And I don't question, the one thing I don't question is whether or not I can do something. I always know if it's put in front of me, I can do it because I have to. I have no other choice and I will do this. And so I never question my abilities. I question, how do I make this all work? How do I make this work and keep myself in a balanced state? And so a lot of what I've done in my career has been, helping agents understand that your childhood stories, you can tell them two different ways. You can tell them in a way that's going to stop you in your tracks every single time. That every time you go to make a call, you're going to question, is this person actually listening? Do they even want to hear from me? Or you can turn that story into a go story that says, you know what, I have something to say and it's going to make an impact on this person. And that's going to be a positive impact. You know, whether they receive it that way or not is another question, but that's not on me. That's on them. Right. And so it's really about turning your stories around, because it's how we tell ourselves our story that relates into how we actually move forward through and in our day every day. And it's really what is the big determining factor in what we ultimately achieve. And so that's, I think what we're doing here, in this call is focusing on how to create our new stories, that are going to help us go. And it's
Absolutely.
not that we're not making up a different story. We're just explaining it to ourselves in a new way. And it's that really propels us forward and makes us realize that, hey, you know what? No matter what I've been through, I'm still here. I am still here and I am capable of so much. And like, there is great transformation in retelling yourself, your own story through a powerful transformational lens. And when you can do that, you literally realize that you can do anything, absolutely anything. And there's nothing stopping you. There's nothing holding you back, nothing at all.
I love it. I love it. You know, so with all of this work, like the self work that we all have to do, like one of the things that I started doing was a word of the year. And every year at the beginning, I don't make New Year's resolutions. I don't buy into all of that, but I do pick a new year because I want that to be like a mantra for me for the year. And this year's word has been the most transformational word that I've ever had to deal with, and it's abundance. I chose the word abundance because I decided that I wanted to live my life every day trying to catch myself when I was not living in abundance and reframe my mind to think more in abundance instead of in that scarcity or that lack. And so once I started doing that, I was like, ooh, dang, like, oh, wow, again? Like, okay. But as the year has gone on, like I do it less and less and less and less. And I'm just living in this abundance place. And things are really, really working out for me in that way because that's what I'm putting out there. So, there's a lot of different books, a lot of different things. It just depends on what you have going on. Angela, put your productive or your
I would like to take some
yeah.
time, maybe me and you, one of these days,
Uh-oh.
to reorganize this.
Okay. I had to mute somebody really quick. But would you put your
Mhm.
workshop in there? So if this is hitting home with any of you, what we're talking about, Angela did a workshop and I was a guest on it. It was a 5-day workshop and she's got all 5 of the days in this little mini course that you could go in and sign up for and take for free. So if this is resonating with you and you want more on that, then please go take that. But if not, let's just move on a little bit. All right. One of the other things that agents struggle with in mindset is competition. Like we are not in competition with anybody. We are all trying to mind our own small businesses. We all have a small business. We can design it to be whatever we want it to be. But I see agents all the time like, well, I'm never going to be like that. Or, well, so and so's already doing that. Or like just really putting themselves down in competition because they're comparing themselves, especially newer agents. And I work with a lot of newer agents. We all start at zero. We're all down here on this bottom step. Don't compare yourself to somebody up here on the 10th step. Like they've gone through and done the work that you need to do. And now it's your turn. And in 5 years from now, they might not even be doing real estate. So who cares? And it's always the 6th degree of separation. Like we all have a different audience. We all have different places and different spaces to be. And so just focus on you. Don't ever compare yourself to somebody else's journey. So always have to put a note in here about that, because that is so true. So Angela, this is the 3 MIQ, the most important questions. Can you go over this a little bit too?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that I got through a certification that I did through Mind Valley with Vishen Lakhiani. He's the founder of Mind Valley, and he calls it the 3 most important questions. And I really like this because I like understanding what our focus is before we try to manage our time or balance ourselves internally or any of that stuff. We really need to understand what it is that we want and why we want it. And so this really breaks it down really well, because the first question, and this is what you do, you just basically make 3 columns up at the top of your paper. Experiences, growth, contribution. Take 5 minutes and just brain dump everything that you can think of in these areas. What experiences do you want to have? How do you want to grow? What do you want to learn? And then what ways do you want to give back? Because when you look at that list, and I really mean brain dump for 5 minutes, like don't question it. Just if it comes to you, write it down. Because sometimes you're going to write it down and go, oh my God, I didn't even know I wanted to do that. Where did that come from? Right. And so you brain dump these things and you realize that there are things that you really want to do that you didn't realize or think about. And then when you look at how you're living your life, you're going to say, you know what? I'm not moving in a direction that's taking me to these experiences. I'm not moving into a direction that's helping me grow in the way that I want to grow. And I'm really not giving back the things that I want to give back, right? And so it really helps us adjust to creating the life that we really truly want to live, right? And so, it's funny because sometimes people really connect in with, I want it. It's like anytime you're working with a coach and they're like, okay, how much money do you want to make? And what do you want to spend that money on? And, and a lot of us, they want us to say, like, create the vision board, and we're supposed to put cars and houses and things like this on it. In reality, it's like a lot of us, that's not what's important to us. It's not. And, my husband literally today just signed up and paid for his real estate license course. Okay. He just turned 50. And I've been in real estate since I was 19. And my husband he's been a regional project manager. He works for a company called Ventera Realty, and they own and manage apartment communities all over the country. And he's in charge of all the capital expenditure projects in the Southeast and the Midwest. He's got a great job, and he is all about building and construction and technology. Like, he understands all that stuff. And he's just like, you know what? I went to Vegas with all these people. I love those people. I'm getting my real estate license. You know? And it was awesome. And he's constantly learning about everything. He comes home and he's like, you know what? There's this whole thing on resveratrol, whatever that resveratrol. He's like, you know what? There's all these studies done about how it reduces anxiety and how it, helps anti-aging capabilities and all these different things. And he's like, it's in red wine and chocolate and all that. We're eating all the right foods, babe. It's great, And so again, it ties into what is the life that you really want to build. And that's what those 3 most important questions are about. It's about building and growing and learning and giving back in all the ways that you really want to. And instead of letting your time get out of control and moving you in a direction that isn't really where you want to go.
After you do that brain dump too, here in a little bit, I'm going to be giving you guys this link to my abundance plan. And this is something that you could take home with you, or print out, or just use the digital copy like I do. But you're going to be able to put this all down in writing. So mindset and your plan what's your why? Like, why do you want to do this? And then we have your vision of some of these things as to where you want to go. Like, this is your destination with all of this. So all of this matters. It matters so much, because when the work gets hard and you don't want to do it, like, you got to wake up and get engaged in your destination and why you want this. You know, I remember classes I used to take at KW, and it's like, what's your why? I'm like, man, I don't know. I just want more money. Like, you know, you have to dig deeper though. Like, it can't, yeah, money is nice, but why do you want more money? Because I want to be able to do what I want to do. But why do you want to do what you want to do? Well, because I want freedom. Like, I just want freedom. And so, you know, ask yourself those questions. But we're going to get back over to that here in a minute. We're almost done. This is the last slide for today that we're going to go over. And this is, you could screenshot this. These are just some ideas. These are things that I've implemented over the years into my morning routine. And you know, I always am listening to or reading at least one book. And you got to be careful what you read too. And inspiring YouTube videos, meditations, guided meditations, visualize, try a digital vision board. I love using Canva. I have a digital vision board on Canva that I play with and just put stuff on there for things that I want to do. It's really important that you are healthy, that you do exercises, stretching, walking, you know, have a healthy lifestyle, because what you put into your body, it really does work. Intentions, always have a coach. If you don't have a coach that you pay for, join us here every Tuesday. We'd love to just be your coaches until you can get this part all down and then move on. I've had a coach for the past 10 years, and I wouldn't be where I am today had I not have had somebody on the other side showing me how to do the things that I didn't know how to do. So I am a big proponent of coaches, but be careful. There's a lot of bad coaches out there. So only go with people that are for the area in your life that you need. And, you know, there's a lot of like lead generation funnel coaches out there. And if that's where you're at and that's what you need, then that's great. Hire them, get it done, use them. But if you got to make sure that you make educated decisions on what it is that you need. So with all that being said, I'm going to go ahead and go into my link tree really quick. I'm going to just give you guys some resources. And when I'm done with this, then I'm going to turn off the chat or turn off the recording. And then we are going to dig in deeper and see if we can help you guys in any way. So I'm going to copy this, put it in the chat. And I'm going to just show you a couple of things right here. And every week I dig into some of these other things. Like there's my link to listings to leads. We talk about that in the week of automations. Right now, this is the one. This is the link to the abundance plan challenge. That's where you are right now. So if you didn't get an email with the recording, you could go sign up for them right here. And then here's the download, the abundance plan download. Make a copy of this. And that is this right here. So this right here is just something you could download and then bookmark it so that you keep it on your computer and edit it, play around with it, go copy and paste things on it. I'm going to show you mine here in just a second and how I do it. But week one is the mindset and the plan. So take the time to write all of this out. Figure out your why. Like, why do you want to do whatever it is you're wanting to do? And it's going to be different for everybody. We all have different visions of where we want to be and what we want to do. And then, you know, where do you want to be? I put all of these on here. You could take some off. You could add it to it. Once you make a copy of this, it's yours to do whatever you want to do with. But, you know, these all work together. It's not like you could just, you know, have balance and be happy in your life if you're just going to work on one. But sometimes in our seasons, like we do want to work harder on one than on the other. So you got to be the one to judge that. But that plan is right there on that link tree. I put the link tree in there. And then, yeah, that's it. The rest of these all go with the other weeks. So these are just some of my favorites, but they go with the other weeks that we have. So I'm going to exit out of that. I was going to just show you my plan, my abundance plan. So this is something I work off of. So I put my own logo on there because I'm downloading and that's my logo. You could replace the other one or leave it, whatever. This is your document to go in and just track your life, track your goals, track all of this stuff. Mindset always first. Watch these when feeling down. Like I have go-to videos that I could go in and play. Daily me time, my word for the year. Like these are my goals that I try to do every single day. My why do I want this? And I have it all on there. And so my mission, I didn't put that on there for you guys, but my mission is to provide a pathway and a space for real estate agents to find their passion, follow their dreams, and create a business that supports their best life, leading by example and documenting all of my lessons and experience. Like everything I do, you guys, is about recruit, train, retain. I don't mind the word recruit. I want people to join me. That's called recruiting. And I love for people to be with me. And I also love that people that I didn't recruit. Like I want everybody. I don't care. Everybody is welcome to this call. I do it for people that are in my downline, people that have joined me on the epic journey, and people who are at KW. So it doesn't really matter, but that's my mission. This is my vision of where I want all of this stuff to be. And I remember when I wrote all of this out the first time, it evolves like all the time too. Sometimes I go in here and I read through it and I'm like, oh, that's kind of changed a little bit. Like I just update it. And then I have my goals, my intentions, and then this is how I will get there. No matter what kind of business you have, like it has foundations, automations, and funnels, or you don't have a small business. So the loading group, like these are all the things we're going to be filling in for you guys over the next 4 weeks. So I just wanted to kind of show you like what mine has on it so that you see what it looks like. And when it's all done, it's really cool to wake up and get into it and say, dang, I got this. I think like I got to go make some calls so that the work comes. And so Adam is here with us today. One of the things I forgot to say on that, wait, it's right here. When we get to it, so it's all blank right now, but while you're doing this, or if this week isn't for you and you want to jump ahead and you're in Lofty, I put Adam's training for Lofty. This is for Epic agents only. This is the link right here to his Lofty lessons and courses. And then branding, because next week we talk about foundations. So if you're in a place where you're really good with your mindset, you might want to jump ahead and then just join us for the call next week. But these are some of the things we talk about in the foundations week and some things I just added. Sylvia Dana, my good friend, she has a digital domination checklist that she shares with everybody. And it's all about branding and all of that stuff. These are foundational pieces in your business. So if you want to jump ahead, that's all on that document. So I am going to get out of all of this now. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to stop recording. Oh, maybe.